So this transition from millat to ummat had to be implemented by encouraging people to use Arabic words for their children.
There was a stated mission and expectation of the power elite of the Islamic Republic to Islamize the Persian language.
Exactly.
What
Yes.
would that mean?
In the early 80s to early 90s, there was a very systematic effort done by, authorities to Islamize the language by coining new lexicon and by changing the semantic connotations of existing words and idioms. Also, they were using media such as radio and television that were state-controlled
Yes.
to popularize words related to religion and Islam.
Okay.
And also in Islamized film industry and what they called Sinemai Defa Muqaddas, a genre of war movies that were state-funded and state-supported. They were using these terms, like always the good person in a movie, Islamized movie, was called Haji. Haji was the good person.
Which is actually a term for someone who's traveled to Mecca.
To Mecca.
That's tantamount to a good person all of a sudden.
And then the villains of the movies or in TV series were normally, they had pure Persian names, like Siavash. Siavash was the smuggler.
Wow.
Or Shahriyar was the thief, or,
So there was an active attempt to demonize Persian names?
Exactly.
To what end? What would they gain from making Siavash a bad person's name?
Because all of a sudden, from the time of constitutional revolution up to Islamic Republic, Iranians were seeing themselves as a nation. We had nationalist ideals. And all of a sudden, there was a change. I mean, the government, the Islamic Republic, wanted to change the idea of millat or nation to ummat, to Islamic nation.
Right.
So they wanted to sort of construct the idea of we are Ummul Qura. That even the word is Arabic. We are the mother of all Islamic countries. So this transition from millat to ummat had to be implemented by encouraging people to use Arabic words for their children.
Well, language would become fundamental, when you want to create that much of a change. And I mean, it's like Khmer Rouge, it's like Cambodia, it's like year zero. We're going to erase everybody's memories and restart, right? That language becomes a big part of that.
Yeah. For quite a while, the statistics department, they had a list of names approved by the government that you could use for your children when you were trying to get the birth certificate.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. That's quite crazy. So for quite a while, the male name Shahriyar was not permitted by Idare Sabt Ahwal, and it was quite arbitrary. So you had to try. I remember when I was I was in the hospital, so my husband went to get the birth certificate from Idare Sabt Ahwal. We had a few names in case one of them was not allowed. We could use the next one.
So presumably names like Ali and Muhammad are
exactly
okay, right?
Always,
right.
They were encouraged. And the more people resisted to this ridiculous idea of, watching movies in which all the bad guys have Iranian names and all the good guys have Arabic names, eventually they had to respond. The film industry had to respond. So now there is a change.